check. Mic check, 1, 2.
I just found this here. This is, well, somebody found it. Let's see here. It says Friday the 13th prequel series, Crystal Lake. We'll see Pam Voorhees do brutal kills and a similar level of violence to the films. There's a series of kills that are everything the movies do. Hopefully it will satisfy the real hack and slash fans too. We build to it, but it's coming.
Why?
The point of the first movie, the very first one, right? Before Jason came around, before there was ever a hockey mask or a burlap sack, there was Pamela Voorhees. And the reason why she was a menace and scary is because you didn't know who the fuck she was till the end of the movie.
Exactly.
We don't go, and then after that, we didn't want to see her anymore. She got her head chopped off. We're moving on. And then the boy came back, and the son was scarier and more menacing and more powerful and could do way more damage than any old fucking 90-year-old crocheting bed shoe could have ever done. Right? So you got this guy with he gets a burlap sack, and then he gets the hockey mask, and he coins the machete. That's why everybody knows who Jason is. Yes, the kids these days about Pamela, they don't know what the fuck you're talking about. They don't care. They're like, wait, who? Oh, the mom of the really cool part of the franchise, you know, where they did, I don't know, 12 more fucking movies about? And now you have the great idea of bringing a stupid-ass series to us, and about Friday the 13th, and we get to see Mongoloid baby Jason and Pam here get down. Fuck this shit. Anyway, sorry. I don't like this. What do you think?
Again, why?
Yeah.
Thoughts suck? Any thoughts suck?
Not really. No.
Moving on. Boss, what about you?
Why? That's all I can say is why. No need for this shit.
As in most of the shit that they put out these days, right? Oh boy. Well, I guess we can move on from that. I'm sure Bathmat doesn't have any thoughts on the.
Oh.
All right. Welcome to my show, currently transmitted through Snowdub's channel because Peacock spent its entire budget producing Friday the 13th series without the large homicidal motherfucker from Friday the 13th. Old Baphomet knows Pamela was the original killer. I was alive in 1980. Emil received the VHS 6 months early. So tonight we discuss Crystal Lake. After 17 goddamn years without a proper Friday the 13th movie, Hollywood has finally reopened the camp. The birthplace of Jason Voorhees, the domain of the hockey mask, the kingdom of the machete. The sacred territory of a 6-foot decomposing murder engine who has spent 40 years converting sexually active teenagers into leaking camping equipment. The fans cried out, "Give us Jason!" and Peacock replied, "Best we can do is his mother." What magnificent corporate shit-gibbon looked at one of the most recognizable monsters in cinematic history and decided the audience really wanted an extended examination of his mother's interrupted singing career. It's like advertising Sydney Sweeney and delivering an 8-hour interview with her tax accountant. It may be fiscally enlightening. The principal attractions remain conspicuously fucking absent. The producers assure us there will be murders. Brutal murders. Kills approaching the violence of the films. Hopefully these murders will satisfy the real hack and slash fans too. They will build to them. But they are coming. Build to them. This is Friday the 13th, you prestige-snifting rectal barnacles. Not the construction of Chartres Cathedral. There is nothing to build. Jason stands up, teenagers fuck. Machete enters teenager, teenager stops fucking, credits. That is the load-bearing architecture of the franchise. The entire structure can be assembled in 20 minutes by a concussed bonobo with a camera and access to gardening equipment. Please be patient, the slashing is coming. That sounds less like horror promotion, more like Miss Johnson reassuring her husband on their anniversary. How long are we expected to wait? Are you going to emotionally edge the audience for 7 episodes and then call one decapitation a satisfying climax? Friday the 13th does not require prolonged foreplay. The franchise was built on penetration. Machetes, spears, arrows, pitchforks, axes, corkscrews, tent spikes. My favorite, the tree saw. Friday the 13th is essentially pornography in which the blade reaches the internal organs before the penis does. Jason understands this. He doesn't spend 6 episodes nervously rubbing the machete against the victim's thigh while discussing maternal grief. He puts the fucking thing through somebody. That is why the audience came. Hopefully it satisfies the real hack and slash fans too. Who is the primary audience for this Friday the 13th series? People who dislike slashers but always dreamed of a paranoid 70s psychological drama about women's liberation, institutional distrust, and negligent aquatic supervision? Did someone write an unrelated prestige series called Pamela, then staple Jason's name onto its forehead because original programming makes shareholders' testicles retract? We have written a powerful meditation upon grief. Wonderful. How do we convince people to watch it? Call it Crystal Lake. Is Jason in it? He's a child. Does he wear the mask? No. Does he wield a machete? No. Does he kill anyone? No. Then why is this Friday the 13th? Because the mother is sad near some water. Fuck you. Allow Lord Bathmat to explain this franchise to the streaming service shitgibbons apparently sharing one damaged brain cell between them. Yes, Pamela Voorhees matters. She is essential. She was an excellent killer and an effective surprise in the original movie. Betsy Palmer played her beautifully. Pamela's grief created the legend. She lost her son because 2 counselors were busy rutting instead of supervising the lake. She snapped. She murdered people to prevent the camp from reopening. And then Alice removed her head with a machete. A complete and satisfying character arc. Pamela lit the fuse. But Jason is the 500-pound decomposing warhead that came through the fucking roof. Do not confuse the fuse with the explosion. Pamela began the massacre, but Jason turned it into a family-owned multinational enterprise. The original movie gave us Pamela. The sequels gave us the icon. Nobody purchased 12 movie tickets because they hoped Miss Voorhees would return to conduct another forceful seminar on lifeguard accountability. Nobody dressed as Pamela for Halloween. Nobody demanded Pamela as a playable character in Mortal Kombat. Nobody spent decades asking for Pamela Takes Manhattan, Pamela Goes to Hell, Pamela X, Freddy versus somebody's irritated mother. Jason went to Manhattan. He went to hell. He went to space, and he fought Freddy Krueger. Jason survived drowning, hanging, electrocution, stabbing, gunfire, toxic waste, telekinesis, explosions, atmospheric re-entry, and the complete collapse of narrative restraint. Pamela lost an argument with one frightened woman on a beach. Let us observe the fucking difference in durability. Jason did not even acquire his hockey mask until part 3. Once he placed it over that aggressively rearranged face, that mask became more famous than nearly every actor who ever wore it. Except maybe Kane Hodder, because that dude is fucking awesome. A blank mask, black eye holes, red markings, a machete, a large, silent, damp bastard who appears whenever somebody's bra touches the forest floor. That is Friday the 13th. Jason is the franchise's enormous, throbbing central pillar. If you remove him, all you have left is a damp canvas sagging over a grieving mother. Some prestige-drunk shitgibbon has removed the erection holding up the tent and declared that the audience should concentrate upon the stitching. No. We were promised the enormous, rigid structure. Put it back. Jason does not speak. Jason does not explain. Jason does not need to unpack his trauma. He doesn't attend therapy. He doesn't sit beside a rain-streaked window and whisper, "Sometimes I feel like Mother never saw the real me." Your mother, you kept as a severed head on an altar, Jason. She saw quite enough. Jason does not require a sympathetic monologue. He requires a machete, a campground, and 6 attractive idiots whose combined spatial awareness could be stored inside a gnat's foreskin. That's his environment. That is his dramatic purpose, his covenant. Jason takes a garden implement and converts Chad into seasonal decorations. Character established, motivation understood. Proceed with the next fucking victim. The beauty of Jason is that he does not negotiate. You can't reason with him. You can't shame him. You can't threaten him with legal consequences, and he's been dead since approximately 1957. His credit rating has ceased to trouble him. He's not a damaged person who kills. He is the arrival of killing. Jason enters a room and everyone else becomes inventory. He doesn't run because the universe has already informed him where you will trip. His victims sprint through the woods. They leap fences. They start cars. They paddle across lakes. Jason takes 4 leisurely steps and somehow appears inside the bathroom. That isn't a man. That's homicidal inevitability wearing Sears workwear. He's a landslide with hands. A meat processing thunderstorm. A refrigerator full of spoiled hatred that learned to walk upright. A 6'6" septic murder gibbon carrying the longest object Freud has ever seen. In fact, Peacock has taken the most blatantly phallic character in horror, a huge silent man wielding a long blade, and decided to make the story about his mother. Freud has kicked the lid off his coffin penis first and begun taking notes. They already attempted Friday the 13th without the real Jason. Part 5 gave us Roy Burns, a copycat killer wearing the mask. Roy looked like Jason. Roy killed like Jason. Roy probably smelled sufficiently swamp adjacent. But he wasn't Jason. The audience rejected him like a used condom dropped into a church collection plate. The franchise has already conducted this experiment in 1985. The body rejected the transplant. So what happened in part 6? They dug the motherfucker's actual corpse up. Tommy stabbed it with a metal fence post and lightning struck the post. Jason returned as an indestructible zombie. Why? Because the filmmakers finally understood the product. No imposters. No realistic explanation. No concern about whether a drowned child could somehow become a 250-pound adult murder gorilla. Lightning hit the corpse. Fuck you. That was the franchise achieving enlightenment. Jason ceased being an unusually durable woodsman and became a supernatural slaughterhouse wearing work boots. The filmmakers discarded logic and embraced the icon. Fans adored it. Hollywood examined this triumph and apparently concluded, people must be deeply invested in the domestic history of the Voorhees family. No, you continuity-huffing fuck nuggets. We are invested in the immortal cadaver who folds people into luggage. Apparently, Pamela gave up a singing career to raise Jason. Fine, that may be emotionally compelling. Linda Cardellini is an excellent actress. Lord Baphomet bears her no ill will. She may deliver the performance of her career. But nobody waited 17 years to discover whether Pamela could have enjoyed moderate success as a lounge singer. What was the act called? Pam and the Aquatic Negligence? Did she tour campgrounds performing mournful ballads about workplace safety? Was Jason supposed to accompany her on the spoons? Perhaps episode 4 will contain the heartbreaking moment when Pamela abandons an audition because Jason has lodged another crayon inside his ear. Stirring drama.
Checks out.
Wrong fucking franchise. If Lord Baphomet orders Jason Voorhees and you deliver his mother's unrealized musical ambitions, that is an unexpected item in the bagging area. She is not the product I scanned. Miss Johnson ordered the hockey-masked murder cadaver. Peacock placed Pamela in her bag and announced substitution approved. Fuck you. This is the great modern prequel disease. Hollywood possesses a famous character whom audiences already love. And instead of producing another story about that character doing the thing that made him famous, producers crawl backward through his biography searching for a period before anything interesting happened. Did you enjoy Darth Vader? Here's a little boy discussing sand. Did you enjoy Batman? Here's a police procedural about Gotham before Batman. Do you enjoy Cruella de Vil? Here's an explanation of why someone's mother being kicked off a cliff by Dalmatians inspired a lifelong interest in canine outerwear. Do you enjoy Jason Voorhees? Here he is before the mask, before the machete, before the murders, and before fucking puberty. It's young Sheldon for dismemberment enthusiasts. What essential mystery are we solving? Jason drowned. Pamela blamed the counselors. Pamela murdered people to keep the camp closed. Alice cut off Pamela's head. Jason rose from the lake and continued the family business with substantially improved productivity. That's the mythology. It fits on the back of a cereal box. We put murder in a bowl. Fuck you. You don't need to excavate his premise like the Dead Sea Scrolls. What really happened at Crystal Lake? Negligence, drowning, murder. You solved it. Go home. But these lore-fisting shit-gibbons can't tolerate an origin remaining simple. Everything must relieve an explanation. Every villain needs an emotional genealogy. Every mask requires a metaphor, and every machete must symbolize inherited trauma. Every murder needs to reflect the socio-political anxieties of its decade. Soon we will discover that Jason's mask represents his inability to feel seen by the community that rejected him. The machete symbolizes rural economic alienation. The lake represents fluid identity, and I swear to God, if they do that gender fluid identity bullshit with Jason, nobody will watch that show. The sleeping bag murder represents the crushing weight of Reagan-era consumer capitalism. No. The sleeping bag murder represents Jason swinging one teenager against a tree until neither the teenager or the tree functions correctly. Sometimes a bludgeon camper is simply a bludgeon camper. The showrunner describes Crystal Lake as a psychological thriller, a paranoid 70s thriller. It possesses, quote, all the DNA of a slasher without quite being a slasher. What in the lubricated fuck does that mean? That's like advertising a cheeseburger with all the DNA of beef without quite containing beef. You have served me a bun full of forensic evidence. It's like describing a dildo as possessing all the DNA of a penis without quite being a penis. Nobody asked for philosophical silicone. Either the object performs the advertised function, or Miss Johnson is returning it without the original packaging. A Friday the 13th production should not be ashamed of being a slasher. The franchise helped define the goddamn genre. Its movies were constructed from blood, breasts, sharp objects, and humanity's irresistible desire to watch an immortal swamp orangutan hammer a corkscrew into somebody's skull. That is not cultural inferiority. That is venerable artistic tradition. The Greeks had tragedy. Shakespeare had history. Jason Voorhees has two teenagers sharing a bed and one spear passing through both of them. Show Lord Baphomet where Sophocles achieved that level of efficiency. The original Friday the 13th was created because Halloween made a pile of money. That's not an insult, that's history. John Cunningham advertised the title before the story was fully developed. They knew precisely what they were selling. Terror. gore, sex. Young people being punished for experiencing pleasurable sensations within range of a machete. And now A24 has arrived carrying a leather notebook wearing an expression of aggressive constipation and whispering, "But what does the machete mean?" "It means duck, you introspective cocksucker." Producers promise rivers of blood. Excellent. Lord Baphomet approves of rivers of blood. Hell has 7. One is navigable. Another tastes faintly of Dr. Pepper. But blood alone does not create Jason Voorhees. A slaughterhouse contains rivers of blood, but nobody subscribes to Peacock to watch livestock processing beneath meaningful lighting. Friday the 13th fans require the complete arrangement. The mask, the footsteps, the impossible appearances, the machete, the supernatural refusal to remain dead, and the teenagers making astonishingly poor decisions within murder distance of a condemned summer camp. And the glorious moment when some arrogant little sex macaque believes he has escaped, only for Jason to emerge from somewhere physically impossible and compact him into a carry-on bag. Pamela cannot provide that experience. She's human. She has plans. She speaks. She deceives. She can explain herself. Jason is terrifying because explanation has rotted out of him. There's nothing behind the mask with which to negotiate. He doesn't possess an argument. He possesses forward momentum. That is why audiences followed him through increasingly ridiculous circumstances. Jason boards a ship to Manhattan? Certainly. Jason's body is destroyed and his evil possesses another person? Kind of fucking stupid, but please continue. Jason is cryogenically frozen, launched into space, and rebuilt as a chrome-plated cyborg. This mythology is now naked in a bathtub smoking methamphetamine. But the mask remains visible. The audience will follow that immortal shit given anywhere, provided he keeps converting irritating people into damp components. Nobody walked out of the theater from Jason X saying, "I enjoyed the liquid nitrogen facial destruction, but I wish we had learned more about Pamela's aspirations as a vocalist." Pamela fulfilled her dramatic purpose. She lost Jason, she went mad, she killed people, and then she died. Her severed head then became the world's most revolting motivational speaker. Whenever Jason hesitated, Pamela appeared inside his mind to encourage continued slaughter. She was already present throughout the franchise, the voice in his head, the sacred relic in his shack, the decomposing regional manager of Camp Counselor Termination. That is an excellent position. Do not mistake foundational importance for audience demand. Thomas and Martha Wayne are essential to Batman, but nobody wants to watch 12 hours of Thomas negotiating hospital insurance before finally attending the theater. Uncle Ben is essential to Spider-Man, but nobody wants Rice and Responsibility, the Uncle Ben Chronicles. Jaws' mother is essential to Jaws, but nobody gives a fuck where she went. Origin characters create the wound. The icon is what crawls out of it. Hollywood keeps selling us the wound while promising the icon may appear if subscription retention remains favorable. And then the marketing has the pendulous brass balls to say, hopefully this satisfies the real hack and slash fans too. The slasher fans are the reason this franchise still possesses commercial value, you audience-fingering shit-gibbon. Who else maintained this property for 40 years? Film critics? University departments? People who watch A24 productions while wearing expensive spectacles and describing boredom as deliberate pacing? The slasher fans bought every sequel. They rented the tapes, they purchased the box sets, they bought the masks, the figures, the posters, the games, the replica machetes. They debated Kane Hodder against every other Jason. Oh, newsflash. Kane Hodder's still the best. They endured Jason Goes to Hell. They endured Jason's rapidly melting face in Manhattan. They endured telekinetic teenagers, body possessions, and outer fucking space. After 17 years, perhaps reward these extraordinarily loyal degenerates with the goddamn character they've been supporting. Don't address them as an optional secondary audience. Don't tell them that actual Friday the 13th entertainment has been placed near the end like a spoonful of pudding following 7 hours of prestige-flavored rectal medicine.
Here, here.
We build to it. Hell uses that same procedure. We call it withholding the dildo until the prisoner develops optimism. And yes, Crystal Lake may be excellent. Lord Baphomet is imperious, not dishonest. Linda Cardellini may be extraordinary. The writing may be intelligent. The cinematography may be beautiful, and the murders may be inventive. Pamela's descent into madness could become one of the finest psychological horror stories produced for television. It would still not be the adult Jason Voorhees rampage that audiences have spent 17 years requesting. A beautifully prepared bowl of lobster bisque does not satisfy someone who ordered a fucking chainsaw. Yes, the soup may be exquisite. The problem is your advertisement said chainsaw. If you want to produce a Pamela Voorhees tragedy, possess the fucking confidence to sell Pamela Voorhees. Call it Pamela, A Very Bad Summer. Or Mother Voorhees. Or The Woman Who Should Have Sued the Camp. Don't wave Jason's hockey mask outside the tent while whispering that authentic slashings will arrive after the audience finishes its prestige vegetables. Lord Baphomet can already predict the structure. Episode 1, Pamela receives troubling news. Episode 2, Pamela experiences institutional indifference. Episode 3, Pamela becomes increasingly isolated. Episode 4, something moves beneath the lake. Episode 5, Pamela stares into a mirror while a cello develops clinical depression. Episode 6, a counselor makes an insensitive remark. Episode 7, Pamela discovers a machete. Episode 8, 3 people finally die. The hockey mask appears during the last 11 seconds, and Peacock announces that Jason's story will continue in Season 2, provided enough of you renew Premium Plus.
Oh, God.
We put the mask in the finale. Fuck you. Hell shall prepare suitable punishment for every franchise-hollowing shit-gibbon responsible. The producers will be locked inside an endless summer camp, and every night they will hear... Branches will crack outside. Heavy footsteps will approach. A vast shadow will appear behind the curtain. Executives will tremble. The door will slowly open. Jason? No. Pamela enters carrying another 8 scripts about institutional mistrust.
Oh,
Then she sits beside them and begins reading. There are themes. There is character development. The killing builds. But it is coming. Whenever an executive attempts to escape, he will reach the lake and see a hockey mask rising from the water. Scream with relief. At last, Jason! The figure will emerge, and it will be another development executive wearing the mask and holding a chart explaining target demographics. Then the real Jason will finally appear behind them. He will seize the chart, examine it, slowly turn toward the executive responsible, and for the first time in franchise history, Jason Voorhees will speak. Who the fuck is this for? Therefore, Lord Baphomet decrees, Pamela Voorhees shall receive the respect owed to the mother who began the massacre. Linda Cardellini shall not be blamed for accepting potentially magnificent role. Psychological depth shall remain welcome, provided nobody uses it as an excuse to remove the fucking entertainment. Any producer using the phrase slasher DNA without being quite a slasher shall receive a meal possessing the DNA of food without quite being edible. Any streaming service advertising Jason while withholding adult Jason shall have its subscription feed inserted sideways into its corporate rectum. And every prestige-drenched shit-gibbon who believes Friday the 13th has outgrown Jason Voorhees shall spend eternity explaining that theory directly to him. Bring visual aids, he enjoys charts. I am Lord Baphomet, this is my show. Jason may enter whenever he wishes. Snowdub may return when he finds the hockey mask. Miss Johnson already located it. It was inside a glass cabinet at Walmart. She pressed the assistance button. A voice announced an associate has been notified. No associate was notified. No Jason appeared, only Pamela. The self-checkout began flashing. Unexpected mother in bagging area. Miss Johnson looked directly into the camera. She took a breath And in the name of every Friday the 13th fan who has waited 17 fucking years, she declared, "We ordered the 6-foot decaying murder shit gibbon in the hockey mask."
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Wow, he found it.
It's just me. It's just me. I'm just fucking with you. No. Sorry. But he ain't wrong.
Who's screaming?
Oh. I don't know. If you're a Jason fan, that was a hell of a rant.
Fuck yeah! Coming again to save the motherfucking day, yeah!
I'll catch you on the flip side.